Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. This is the first Sunday Quranic Arabic class. We do the first step in learning how to read the Quran is that you have to learn the letters of the alphabet, and usually the letters, learning the letters of the alphabet is the one that is the big screener. People have to take time and look at the letters. You have to learn how to draw to mirror the what the letters look like, and you got to understand how the letters look when they're attached. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you have to show how they look in a word, which is like cursive. You know, A, B, C with the little lines you connect. So it's Arabic is cursive. So you have to learn how the letters look in a word. And then, of course, you have to learn the vowel sounds, the short vowels first, and then later on the long vowel. Then once you have a good handle on the alphabet, and I would say at least learn about half of them. And then as you start learning words, you're using your alphabet sheet, you'll learn the rest of the alphabet. So then the next thing is that, and basically I'm just explaining Arabic grammar to you. The next thing is you have to take the letters and put them in words. And most Arabic books will tell you, will start you out with nouns. And nouns are a person, place, or things, as it's said in English. However, in Arabic, it's person, place, and thing, adjectives, and adverbs. And it does mention pronouns, but pronouns are the things that the sunattached and attached. So you start out with nouns. So you have to learn the first rules of nouns. And a good way to learn nouns is the attributes of Allah. You got 100 attributes of Allah. Allah is one, and the rest of them is the descriptive attributes of Allah. And so those are nouns. And those nouns are also used like adjectives. So at the same time, you're learning adjectives when you learn the attributes of Allah. And so then after you learn nouns, then you have to learn what a verb is. And the verbs are the three-letter roots. And it's based on the motto of fa'ala, not el, but fa'ala means he did. Huwa fa'ala, he did. And then once you do that, you'll pick up as you go what is called particles. Most of them, majority of them, is preposition. And but many of them, like yeah means oh, yeah Muhammad, oh Muhammad, or fa means therefore, or thumma, that means thus. So to learn the Arabic language, you have to learn three things: the nouns, verbs, and particles. And when you have that in mind, when you're looking at a verse that you're trying to memorize, then you can pretty much break it down to that. The Arabic grammar is Fusha, that's classical Arabic. And it's for you to be able to read and understand the Quran. The Quran itself is not that complicated. However, in the Quran, as Allah says in the Quran, the Quran is made easy to understand and remember. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an attribute. I'm going to teach the grammar. That's what it is. And I'm going to use one word to teach the grammar. Attribute. And a lot of times the problem with dots when you're using the whiteboard. Yeah, just like that. I got 3 dots and I only want 1. and they're usually too light. So this is the attribute of Allah. I'll break it down. So I am teaching the alphabet. That's your aleph with a fatha. And then next is lam with the sukoon. And that's one of the first words you learn is al, which means the. The. Then the next letter is the fa, the F in Arabic. Then you have the ta. It has what is called a shadda. Shadda means that you'll see in your mind two letters. One has a sukoon. The first one has the sukoon, and which means to rest. And the other one has a vowel sign. And then the aleph is attached to that. And the last letter. So this is al-fat-tahu. Al-fat-tahu. And the rule of aleph, rule of the nouns is that one of the first rule of nouns is that they're definite and indefinite. What makes it definite is al, the. Indefinite, you take off the aleph, lam, and you change the voweling of the last letter. And you put it's called a tanween, or the false in sound, and the sound is un. This sound is u. This sound is un. And when you learn the what's called the tanween, you learn that there are three sounds that are in the tanween. That's un, and, in. And those sounds are put on the noun. It's un when there's nothing affecting the noun, or u when nothing is affecting it. So al fet tahu is the opener, and fet tahu is a opener. So it's either the or a something for the nouns. And again, this is the attribute of Allah. And so once you know that, okay, now you know how to spell the noun el-fet tahu. You know how to spell it and put it in this form up here. One is definite, and the other was indefinite. All right. Then what I do right off the bat is once we start dealing with the nouns, I start teaching the verb form right off the bat. And so, and the verb form, that's the action, and it's past tense, and that's the root of the language, root of the noun, the root of the adjective, the root of the adverb. It's a three-letter root. So what you do is that you want to find what's the three-letter root. And we know al means the. So if something is definite, and you got the 100 attributes of Allah, not all of them has al, but 90% of them does. Al, then you can remove that. So now you count the letters: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The shadda, put 2 T's there, so you can remove one of the T's. So you can count it: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have what is called long vowels in Arabic. If you put a fatha over the letter before, put an aleph with it, that's an a sound. If you have a wow with a dhamma on it before, that's a oo sound. If you have a kasra and the yeah after it, that is the e sound. So these are long vowels. So we can see the example right here. The fatha is over the ta, and the aleph makes that a long sound. So you can remove. So now you got the 3-letter root. 3-letter root. 3-letter root. So the verb form is in the past tense. And we use the model of what is called fa'ala. And it's really huwa fa'ala. Means he did. And so huwa fa'ala. So if you can conjugate this from I and you and he and she and we and they and you plural and so forth, if you can conjugate this verb, then you can conjugate many of them that's within this form. The fatha of the first letter, fatha of the next letter, fatha of the next letter, fa'ala. So next, now we got the 3-letter root. And so the 3-letter root is in this case, you look it up, fataha. Fataha. That means he opened. He opened. Fa'ala means he did. Fataha means he opened. All right, so we can erase this and come back to it shortly. And next, by you learning the 3-letter root, you can now, don't have it upside down, get one of these books from WDM publication. This is a Quran dictionary of the Quran. And now you're able to, with the 3-letter root, you're able to look up the noun. Not only does this book have nouns, but it has particles and everything. If it's in the Quran, for the most part, it's in this book. The other book that you can use with the Imam had at first his brother gave to him is called the Hans Ware Dictionary, and you can actually download that as an app. So, and you can look up the words in the Hans Ware Dictionary. I think it's called Hans Ware Almanac to download it as an app for your phone and iPad. So now, we're ready. Now we're going to teach you how to use the dictionary. And what's beautiful about it is just like using the English dictionary. If I say boat in English, first you go to the B in an English dictionary, then you go to the O, the next the A, and the T. You will find it. But in Arabic, in the case we're dealing with this one, fataha, you would go to the fa in the dictionary, then you go to the ta, then you go to the ha. And then, so you look it up in a dictionary, and fataha, it's going to mean to open, to be victorious, and other things. But that's what we want right now. So we had the noun, el-fatahu, that's the attribute of Allah. We were able to see it indefinite, fatahun, a victory, a opener. Okay. Then fataha means he opened. So the next thing, before I go to this, and technically before you go to the verb, you got to learn what is called pronouns. You have the attached pronouns and unattached pronouns. Personal, or call it, sometimes they call it personal pronoun and the possessive pronoun. So you have to learn. You have to learn how to write it and spell it. Ana means I. Anta, and I'm not going to put them all on the board, but we give you the information, and you have to learn how to write it. To write Ana, you have to, and I use, you have to have lined paper, and the Imam mentioned that you should have a pencil with the eraser that you can erase your mistakes. So to do Ana, to learn that, you can do it this way. Ana, I, say I. Then do it again. Write it. Ana, I. Ana, I. So you can have a whole sheet of paper, just every line, you maybe put 20 across and just say Ana, I, Ana, I. And if it is not sinking in, then do it this way. Ana, I. Now you learn your letters of the alphabet. Ana, I. And then go ahead and do that. And then graduate to this. And so what does Ana mean? Ana means I. The next one I put on there is Anta. I'm not going to put them all on the board. That's for male. It means you, male. And then the next one is Anti. Looks exactly like Anta, except the last letter has a kasra. And that's you, female. So Ana, Anta, Anti. And then I'll put Hua, the next Hua. And I'm not going to go too much farther than that. Then Hia. Hia means she. So Ana means I. Anta means you, male. So male person. Anti, you, female. Hua means he. Hia means she. That's your personal pronoun. So you got to learn those. And from that, you can do a simple sentence. A very simple sentence. So you have, in Arabic, there's two types of sentence. Two types of sentence. That's a sentence that has a verb that you can see. That means you actually write it out. And a verb that you don't see. That's called a non-verbal sentence, or they have another word from equational sentence in college. So, simple way to do that, if I put Ana on the board, and I got about 7 minutes. Ana, somebody please mute yourself, because we can hear you. And if I wrote, please mute yourself, whoever has it. Okay, Ana. Okay, if I put Ana Rahman. Okay, Ana Rahman means I, then you have Rahman. I, Rahman. Or put it in English, in English grammar, is understood. You don't see it. Ana Rahman. I am Rahman. Or I can say Anta Rahim. I wouldn't say anti-Rahim. You're the merciful. Ana Rahman. Anta Elam. You are Elam. Anti Rashida. You are Rashida. Hua Elam. Hua, that means he. Elam. He Elam. Hua Elam means he is Elam. He Rashida. She Rashida. She is Rashida. So you don't see the verb. The next sentence you will have a verb. And we just so happen to look up a verb. Fataha. Fataha means he opened. And in fact, you can put Hua right in front of that. Hua, Fataha. Then I can put a noun right after it. which is the object of the verb. I got about 5 more minutes. And here's the sentence that you actually see a verb. Huwa means he. Fataha means he opened. Then al-ba, he opened the door. Okay, so in this simple sentence, you have the huwa is the subject, fataha is the verb, al-ba is the object of the verb. He opened the door. And we saw the other one. I would say huwa. There's no verb. Huwa is he. He Elam. He is Elam. And that's your verbal sentence. Then next, you'll see a whole lot. Remember, okay, we just did the noun, which we say is the attributes. In this case, el-fatahu. We did the verb, fataha. Next is particles. And the good example of particles is preposition. So be means with. Then here I got a noun. I got be and al-kitabi. You have a preposition, then you have a noun after it. This is called a prepositional phrase, and you'll see a lot of prepositional phrases. And so bil-kitabi means with the book. The B would normally go right here, connect. Bil-kitabi. Bil-kitabi. So the noun is al-kitabi. Or we could start out with, and I got about 2 minutes. What we really started out with the attribute of Allah. Bil fatahi, with the opener. This is a prepositional phrase. And so so we'll see by understanding those, and then the Adafa structure. I don't have time for that, but there's one other things that you have to know among many other things. You know, I can't teach it all in a half hour. We did the personal pronouns. Anta and ana. I. Then you have to learn the possessive pronoun that you attach to noun, verbs, and preposition. So again, the Arabic language is made up of nouns, verbs, and particles, and many of the particles are preposition. So you have ye, which means my. You have ni, which you attach. Most of the time you do this to a verb, ni, which means my also. Then you got ka, you attach to a noun, verb, or a preposition. Ka means you, male. Ki means you, female. Who means his. And ha means hers, and then there's more. So you had to learn the personal pronoun and the possessive pronoun. And once you learn the noun, the verbs, preposition, especially the particles, but preposition in particular, because I can deal with the rules. These possessive pronoun can be attached to, for example, for the noun would be my something or your something, your house, your book. With the verb is he opened, for example, fatahu, huwa fatahu, he opened it. Huwa fataha, he opened it. It could be something that's feminine. And then, so we did the unattached pronouns, we did the attached pronouns. These are not all of them, but I had to use them to do it in a half hour. So this concludes the Quranic Arabic class.